Hey guys, this is Jared Fleming. Today we're going to go over the stretches that I've been doing to help alleviate back pain. So about a year ago, I hurt my back, herniated a couple discs. This went back in, and so I've been doing a lot of stretches with my hips back to alleviate pain, and this is my routine. So the first two stretches that I do are just to warm up for the final of the first three stretches that I do. Now I'm tucking my leg into my groin, and I'm pushing down on my knee with the other leg. So I'll feel a stretch in my glute. I'll feel it in my TFL. The TFL is the muscle that attaches at your hip and runs down into your IT band. And I'm reaching over and I'm pulling myself over with my hand that's extended and touching my toe. You'll also feel a stretch in your erectors and in your QL. QL is quadratus laborum. That's another muscle in your back near your erectors. So this will stretch your back and it'll also stretch your hip. And if your hamstrings are really tight, you'll also feel it in your hamstrings. Now this is the first stretch I like to do to kind of get my hips and everything warmed up for some more complex stretches. Now the second stretch I'll do here is just a basic pigeon stretch, pulling my feet together, pulling them in, and then I'm really focusing on pushing my knees down, and I really feel that where the quad attaches at your hip, so the rectus femoris attachment into your hip. So as I'm pushing down, I really feel it there. Also might feel it in your groin, just depending on where your tightness is. I've just found this is another simple stretch that I like to throw into my routine. As far as duration goes, I try to hold each of these stretches for 45 seconds to a minute, just really focusing on breathing and relaxing and getting a good stretch. So if you're not relaxing, the muscle is going to try to shorten and you're not going to get as good of a stretch. So you really want to just try to focus on relaxing. Now this right here is the more complicated the most complicated stretch I do. I found this in a yoga class, and I found this really helped to stretch the glute on the leg that's on top, and to really stretch my TFLs glute on the lower leg. Now you can see that I'm trying to keep my hips at 90 degrees. I'm trying to sit directly behind my leg, and the bottom leg you want at 90 as well. You don't want it pulled in to your groin. You want to try to keep it at 90 degrees. And the reason I'm sitting back against the wall for all these stretches is because my hips are really tight. So if I try to do these and I'm not against the wall, it just pushes me back and I'll like fall over, I can't stay up. So I sit against the wall, it really helps. The mat's nice too because the leg that's on the bottom, there's a lot of pressure pushing your bottom leg down if your top glute is tight, and it's gonna push your ankle down, or your ankle bone down to the floor. It's just gonna get irritating, so the mat is kind of nice. Now, once you've gotten comfortable with this, you can do two things. You can either try to push that leg down farther with your top hand, or with your hand, try to push that knee down farther. Then you can pull your head down and try to get your nose as close as you can down to your knees, and you'll feel it stretch in a couple different places. The next stretch, I'm kind of adjusting here. This one will really stretch your glute. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna cross one leg over, and you're gonna put the other foot against the wall, and then you're gonna use your calf to make the stretch more intense if you need it to be. So as you push with your calf, it's gonna push everything back, and you're gonna feel more of a stretch in your glute. Now it's important to try to keep your back flush with the floor when you do this. If your hips come off the floor and your back comes off the floor, you're not gonna get a good stretch. So as you push with your calf, it's important to really try to keep your back planted onto the floor. Now you can also see I'm not just pushing with my calf, but I'm also pushing my knee forward, and then you'll feel more of a stretch, like kind of glute med area. So you can do both. Push with the calf to push your ankle back, and then push the knee forward, and you'll feel a little bit different of a stretch. But make sure you try to keep your back right in contact with the floor. Now here we're kind of mixing things up a little bit. This is a good stretch for your psoas, also for your quad. The best way to do it is with a partner. Have him push have him put one foot on your shoulder, push you forward, and then push that other knee down, and you're really gonna feel that stretch in your psoas. Now if you don't have a partner, you can do it with a band. The Penlay jerk blocks work really well because there's a piece of steel that you can loop a band with. Now in this video I'm using a green band. I started with the green band, now I'm working with the blue band. So as I get looser, I'm increasing the thickness of the band and getting more of a stretch. Now I'm hugging my knee nice and close. I'm anchoring my hips, and I'm really trying to relax and let my knee come farther down. And what you want to do is you can see how my ankle is tucked behind the band. You really want to make sure your ankle is behind the band. If it's just sticking out, you're not going to get if it's just hanging out, you're not going to get as much of a stretch. You want to try to have it tucked behind the band. That'll really help to get that stretch. So there's my stretch routine, guys. Nothing too crazy, but I found that those stretches targeted my glutes, my back, so erectors, QL, and then my quad and my psoas. And I found that really targeting those things has really helped to alleviate a lot of pain in my back. Now, this is what worked for me. I really hope that this can give you guys some guidance, and for anybody who's dealing with back pain, that this can help alleviate some of that.